What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rants Red Talk, where we discuss the topics that you send through to me on Twitter. As usual, man, got you that fresh 20% discount code in the description, bruv. Obviously, I always stay fresh. You're always asking me where I get my garms from, so boom! Rants 20 at the checkout. Treat yourself, man. You know how it is. I'm just on the way to go and meet Flex to film Rants Red Talk, so we're going to get this through. And then make sure you don't forget to check out the Flex and Rant show tomorrow, which will be Tuesday at 1 o'clock on the United Stand. And then we got our WTF show on UFF. That should be coming out around 7 p.m. on Tuesday as well. So we're putting that work in, but let's get to it. Okay, first one is from, I can't read your Twitter it's long, but it's Shahab Ahmed. It says, if Pereira and Pogba's best positions are both attacking mid, what do we do? Pereira has too much talent to be a plan B, surely. If anything, this is an early Rants Red Talk question. So he sent this in to me early, bruv, because he knows the drill already on Twitter. All right, let me put it this way to you, yeah. Andreas Pereira, yeah, is the perfect replacement for Juan Mata. That's who he is. That's who he should be replacing. All this talk of Mata getting a new deal, he's going to be 31 this year, 170 grand a week. And I've got some numbers for you because I know a few of you like numbers, yeah. So Mata, 27 2018 and 2018 2019, 67 appearances, 50 starts, 8 goals, 10 assists. That's goal involvement every 231 minutes, blood. That is shit. That's what that is. As much as I love Juan Mata, and I do, he's a great guy, clearly, on and off the pitch. Brilliant technical footballer, but I just think that he's peaked and his bread's buttered, innit? I wouldn't be giving him 170k, bruv. I would get rid of him, and I would say to Andreas, you're going to be our impact guy from the bench in that number 8 position, in that floating position. Because for me, Pereira can play on the right hand side. He proved it when he went out on loan last season. He can play on the left of the three as well, and he can play in that Pogba role, the tip of the diamond, brother. And you saw the fucking goal that he scored last game. Andreas Pereira should be playing high up the pitch. He's got brilliant feet. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a lot closer to a Coutinho type player than like a Juan Mata that's gonna play the little slide rule balls. But Andreas is technically very gifted, innit? So I don't think we need to worry about him and Pogba playing in the same position, because technically Pogba and Mata play in the same position. But Andreas Pereira is good enough to be the guy that comes in when we need him to unlock something or do a job or just change it up a little bit, bruv, because he can go past players. That's one thing Mata can't do. Mata passes the ball well, his movement, his touch is good and his vision is good, but he can't go past players. So when you see him in the wide position, he's wasted. So I think that new contract is wasted on him. I don't think he should get it. And I think that Andreas should be the Juan Mata replacement on number 8. So I don't think it's an Andreas or Pogba situation. I think that if we want to play at the top level, compete for honours, then we need to have depth. We need to have that. So I believe that there's room in the squad for Andreas in that position, because Pogba's not going to play every game. And also what we've seen is Pogba can drop back and play a more withdrawn role. It is at the detriment of getting the best out of him. Yeah, we don't get the best out of him in terms of goals and goals creation, but he moves the ball well and he can give us that. So in an ideal situation, yeah, we do want Pogba further forward, but with the injuries we've got, sometimes man has to do a job for the team, which he has been doing, which actually contributed to Andreas's goal against, who the fuck did we just slap? Southampton. Against Southampton. So I think that there's definitely room for Andreas Pereira. Sick question. All right, next one here. This is another good one that I actually thought about the other day. It's Sard Footy, and it says, seeing as Matic and Rashford Herrera look poor under Jose and have been reborn under Oli, we call him Snoreen here, blood. Would Mkhitaryan have refound his Borussia Dortmund Bundesliga Player of the Year form under Oli? If so, how much worse does that make Alexis deal look now? 100%, bro. Like, when I saw Mkhitaryan against Tottenham, even though he didn't look like the player we bought, he offered something in it. And he was playing as right fullback, I think. Mickey would have definitely slotted into this Oli formation a lot better than Sanchez has, and probably our right side wouldn't look so bad if Mickey was still here, because Mickey would have been given the license, the freedom, the confidence to express himself, to do all the things that fucking Snorri, the bus driver, didn't allow him to do. So with that in mind, I think you're spot on. I think Alexis Sanchez has to be the worst number 7 in the history of the club, just because of all the hype and the gas, and we can call him Mowgli as well, blood, because that's who he is, fam. It's the gas, the hype, everything. I got an Alexis Sanchez scarf because I thought, right, we're going to get that proven goal scorer from Arsenal that's done it in the Prem and is going to take us to the next level. That is the gas. That is the dream that man sold me. When he was playing that fucking piano, yeah, I felt that. I really thought we were actually at the beginning of something big, and it wasn't to be, in it. So I think Mickey 100% would have thrived under Oli. And remember when I was telling everyone fucking Snoreen out and he was the virus and he was the one fucking up the club, and everyone was like, no, you have to back your manager, all these players aren't good enough. Well, all of these players are proving that he's full of shit. He came out the other day and he was doing a little interview and he was popping shots at Pogba, talking about Instagram and this, that and the other. Bare indirects, as he does. He likes to make scapegoats of players because he's an arrogant, narcissistic prick. And he can't see that his goose is cooked, innit? He's done in football. He's done. Anyone that gives him another job is a fucking idiot. And he will get another one because Allardyce and them man keep getting jobs. So fucking Snoreen will keep getting jobs, innit? But he's finished. He looks like a punch-drunk boxer, blood, that doesn't know that he's done. Man's looking like the Gale out here. So, honestly, Mickey would have thrived in this system 100%. That was a fucking sick question, by the way. The next one, at MH150312. Also, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about the Mkhitaryan situation, and also what you think about Andreas Pereira. Keep it interactive. You lot are smashing it anyway. The comment section is always going mad. I'm always replying. We're getting videos with over 500 comments in there. So, as I said, it's you lot's show. So, just keep involved. All right, Lukaku, has he changed your mind? Man deliberately took off his top to show us that he's lean again. If he does, fuck all, but bags 2 goals in a match. Can't complain, but what do we do with him going forward? All right, bro. Lukaku hasn't changed my mind, innit? Lukaku's shown that he's a goal scorer. I always knew that. We always knew that. Like, look at his stats, bro. Like, if you want to find out if someone's a goal scorer, just look at how many goals they score. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, stats don't tell the full story in everything, but when it comes to goals scored, it does, innit? Lukaku bags. He does. His goals to 90-minute ratio isn't as impressive as a Kun Aguero or them, man, but he's someone who's very rarely injured and he always plays 90 minutes, innit? So, with that in mind, Lukaku is a finisher. The goals that he scored the other day, it's clear that he's been practicing his finishing. Oli has co-signed that, saying that he stays behind and he's practicing. That's what a Manchester United player should be doing. So he's got the attitude to play for this club. He's got the work ethic. He's got all of that. I never thought he was fat. I always thought he was overweight, and he was overweight. But I don't think he was fat. He's a naturally big lad anyway, like genetically, innit? Like, I'm similar in the sense that if I'm always lifting weights, I will put on muscle very easily, bruv. Like, it's genetic. So, like, I don't really lift heavy weights no more. Like, I do a lot of body weight stuff. I don't eat as much as I used to because I don't need to, innit? But if I wanted to put on muscle, it's easy. It's the same with Rom. It's probably the same with a few of the other players as well. Look at Antonio Valencia's quite heavy set as well. Do you know what I mean? He's just mad muscular. So I think Lukaku is definitely trimmed down. I don't think that was his issue though. His issue was his all-around game is shit. Like, his touch isn't good. Like, he's bringing people into the play, into the game is good, but very rarely. Like, just simple things like bouncing the ball off and spinning off. Like, he struggles to do that. And he does do it sometimes, and when it works, it looks amazing. Like, there was an opportunity in the game where he's held it, and then Pogba's come down the left and he slid Pogba through, and it was brilliant. But he'll do that once or twice over the scale of 90 minutes, whereas Lukaku needs to be doing that every time the ball comes into him. Like, I've mentioned, like, Bobby Zamora before, because he was like a target man, but he was so underrated. His touch was brilliant, his vision was brilliant. Play it into him anyhow, off the chest, lay it off, chest it, lay it off, head it, lay it off, either foot, lay it off, and then he's pinning the defender and spinning off, man. Like, that's what you're meant to do as a target man. Lukaku is a finisher. He's a poacher. He's like Chicharito Hernandez, yeah, stuck in a fucking NFL player's body, blood. Like, that's what he is, innit? So with that, you have to understand the qualities that Lukaku has. It's purely finishing. So for me, Ruud van Nistelrooy was sold at the club. And Ruud had way better feet than Lukaku, by the way. He was sold at the club because Ferguson wanted a more fluid, attacking, pacey football with the likes of Rooney, Ronaldo. And I think that Lukaku doesn't fit into the style of play that Oli wants for the club, but I think he has a place in the squad. Do I think that 220 grand a week player should be on the bench? Like, no. I believe that I'd rather see Mason and players like that on the bench for the amount of money that he's on. But in all honesty, it's not our money, innit? And if the money's there, I don't give a shit. So I'm happy for Lukaku to be a squad player, but if he starts week in, week out, I genuinely think that we can't win nothing serious. We can't, because I think he takes away from the general chemistry of the team when he plays. But I still think that in terms of finishers and goal scorers in the league, like, how many are there of his caliber, bro? Like, there aren't any. Do you know what I mean? I'm not a massive fan of his overall game because I look at football holistically and I like technically sound players. He's not one of those. But man cannot deny he bags goals, innit? So, have I changed my mind on him? No. But I am very happy to have him in the squad. I still don't want to see him starting at the expense of better players, basically. But a very good question again. Guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about that. At Mr. Mac, son, most league titles are won when you have a 30+ goal a season striker. Do you think Rashford and Lukaku will be able to do that? Or do we need to buy an elite striker to get us that? Alright, bro, what I would say is, I think, yeah, the days of having a 30 goal a season prolific striker, bruv, and needing that, I think those are over, you know. Like, teams are playing a more fluid attacking approach now. Like, teams are not building around certain players no more. Like, Spurs do that with Harry Kane. And actually, Spurs are actually looking better when Harry Kane's injured because they're more fluid, they're less dependent, they're less predictable, innit? I think just like Man United with Ruud van Nistelrooy, we were very predictable. Man knew that we wanted to get the ball out to Beckham, we wanted to get it out wide, and we wanted to get it in the box. Like, man knew what we were going to do. It's just that Ruud was so fucking good, it didn't matter. And Ruud could dribble and make things happen, but ultimately, we played to the strengths of Ruud, innit? When Ronaldo came and he kept checking back and he wasn't putting the ball in, Ruud got angry. And Fergie made a choice. It was either Ruud or Ronaldo. So, I think that a 30 goal a season striker isn't necessarily, like, it's not necessarily paramount. Like, Liverpool had Mo Salah, I think he bagged over 30 goals in all comps, yeah, and they didn't win shit. So, I don't think it's a necessity, but I do think your front three or your front two, between them, need to be bagging 50 goals a season, blood. They need to be in it. So, I don't think we need to get an elite striker. I just think that we need to have like a quartet of Pogba, Martial, Rashford, and say Sancho. Like 4 men that between them are bagging over 15 goals a season each. I think that that's all you need, really. Guys, let me know what you think about that. Do you think that we're in need of an elite forward? Yeah, just let me know, man. It's all about opinions. At the end of the day, I think that I wouldn't say fucking no to one, but I don't think that that would be the difference between us winning the title and us not. Because if Oli started the season with us, we'd be challenging for the title, and we don't have a 30 goal a season striker at the club. Last but not least, at Aussie128. Are you at all worried about David De Gea and Ander Herrera's contracts not being finalised yet? Absolutely not, bro. Good question. A lot of the talk about De Gea's contracts gone silent and that, but I believe that the contract's signed. I do, innit? I believe that the money's agreed, the contract's signed, and I think that he will get his contract, but I think it's based on the club moving players on. I do. I honestly believe that. I think they're trying to free up the wage bill, and I think in the summer you'll see David De Gea sign an extension. You'll see a handful of players being moved on. Valencia hasn't been given a new contract. I think Darmian will leave, possibly Marcos Rojo too, and I think there might be a few more. So I believe De Gea will get his money, but I think that Ed's trying to balance the books at present. Also, with Ander Herrera, my man just got player of the month. I think he's too valuable that United wouldn't even consider letting him leave. So I believe that contract's getting signed. So honestly, no worries. United have shown any player they want to keep, they will keep and they will spend the money. If they're saying that one man is going to get 170k to keep him, they're definitely keeping Herrera, because Herrera won't cost that. So not worried at all. Great question. Let me know in the comment section, guys. Are you worried? Okay, and make sure you smash that fucking like button, guys. That was your episode of Rants Red Talk. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think of the topics that we've covered today. Make sure you follow the socials so you can keep up to date with the regular trolling on Instagram and Twitter. It's at Rants and Bants on both of those. And yeah, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And just keep an eye out for the regular content. Big up for the interaction. I'm going to shoot. Remember to look out for the shows. Also, I'm about to jump on the phone to my brother as well. We're going to start filming that Dispatch of the Day, blood, this week. So you should have a new episode out next week or maybe later on this week. But we're keeping it active. We're working, guys. Mad love for that.